An instructional video by Jace Consulting Group.
Okay, in this block of instruction, we're going to talk about how to read the RFDS. We're going to start out with the first sheet, and then there'll be several videos to cover each section of the RFDS and what information you can gather from each one. In this first page of the RFDS, we'll see section 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 are very important. 3 is not really necessarily important to us at this level, but 1 and 2 is extremely important. So a couple of things we're going to find in section 1, which will be general information. So we can see that the RFDS name is here, and we need to make sure that the RFDS name matches the site that we're working on. And quite often the RFDS name doesn't always reflect the site name. So it could be a number-letter combination, but we will have this particular RFDS name listed in the CDs, or it should be. And then we'll see the date when it was created, if it's approved, RF manager, and so on. Again, not necessarily as important to us as some of the other information in section 1. But for sure, we need to look at RFDS technology type, LT5C. So say we're doing a 6C install. If this is the LT5C, we'd like to know where the 6C RFDS is, or does this RFDS include the 6C work and it's just labeled for 5C? Those are the kind of questions we need to ask. We know from the CDs we looked at for the same site that it's a 4T4R swap out, so we see that annotated here in the plan, right? So we need to compare this stuff on the RFDS and ensure that we are actually looking at the right site, that we're looking at the right RFDS, and that the information we're analyzing is indeed accurate for the build that we're about to do. Section 2, location information, super important section. So USID, FA location, the location name, and the address, Latin long, is all listed in section 2, and that's all information you will need to build your rigging plan and to build your scope of work. So the scope of work that we're building will include the address, the Latin long, and all the FA location and all that stuff. USID is used to build the RET worksheet and that sort of stuff. So we need this information. Additionally, we'll see oracles and paste numbers. See paste job numbers here and oracle here. We need this information to conduct the audit, right? And we need this information to be able to reference the site. It's nice to have your PACE ID when you're referencing. Each one of these PACE IDs applies to a different portion of the build, like 3C, 4C, and I don't know if it's actually broken down that way. It's probably not. Actually, some of these PACE IDs apply to work that the integrators do or work that the civil crew does. And so we see that, and we need these PACE IDs in order to determine what work is being done on the site, and we also need them to conduct the audit. The auditors use the PACE ID specifically to reference what they're going to audit on the site. So that's the first page and couple of sections of your RFDS, and it's important that we glean this information and put it into either into our rigging plan, into our scope of work, and so on.